down on LEX 18 News.
Right now on Evening Edition, taxed for unemployment checks they never saw. Kentuckians turn to LEX 18 investigates for help. Plus, they might be our ticket to normalcy, but posting your COVID vaccine card online could also attract scammers. Why consumer experts say skip that selfie. And back in session for Kentucky's lawmakers, what topics they will soon tackle in Frankfort. Evening Edition starts now. Good evening, I'm Angie Bevan. Thank you for joining us tonight on Evening Edition. Larry Smith has the night off. Well, we started the week off with more snow showers, which created a winter wonderland in central Kentucky today. Photojournalist Tyler Ross took some drone video over Fort Boonesboro, blanketed in snow. There you see it. It looks gorgeous outside. Of course, travelers had to be careful getting through the snow and will still need to be careful tomorrow morning as well. Let's check right in with Storm Tracker meteorologist Seth Phillips.
Yeah, that's right. Even though these snow rates have come down significantly for areas in the bluegrass, we still deal with, well, the black ice scenario. A lot of that snow melted throughout the course of the day today, turned into water, and a lot of those roadways were still pretty wet. So with that and temperatures staying below freezing and now really dropping down quite a bit now that we're getting into the overnight hours, you can imagine that ice is going to be a much bigger deal, especially for the Interstate 75 corridor and out west. Whereas the eastern counties are still going to be dealing with snow throughout the overnight. So we're not finished with this system by any stretch. And therefore, a winter weather advisory tonight and tomorrow for all of these counties shaded in this purple, just basically saying that, yes, travel indeed overnight tonight and throughout the morning tomorrow will be impacted from the ice and the snow. But really, in certain areas, we have just had cloud coverage for the last several hours. We've seen that snow push off to the east, and there may be another burst come through from time to time, but it's not going to put down much, at least not in the bluegrass or the south central corridor. You get out towards eastern counties, another additional 1 to 2 inches possible overnight tonight and throughout the morning tomorrow. So we'll talk about that, what to expect for the rest of this week. All of that coming up in your full forecast.
All right, Seth, thanks. Well, breaking right now, police in Madison County have just arrested an armed man who was on the run this evening. This all happened along I-75 near mile marker 91. According to Trooper Adam Hall, the man ran from police multiple times today and even broke into someone's home, tied them up, and stole their car. We'll keep you updated on air and on LEX18.com as we learn more about that developing situation. LEX18 continues to try and help many of you collect long overdue unemployment benefits. Our stories are getting results, but we're also hearing from more people dealing with the same dilemmas. One of them being folks receiving tax forms on money they did not receive. Evening Edition's Lee Searcy has that story tonight.
I seen the paper and I was like, hold on a second, I got that exact same paper.
Gary Smallwood is referring to our story with Brandon Kidwell last week, who says he got a 1099 form in the mail stating he was being taxed on unemployment benefits he never received.
I'm trying to deal with this before my taxes are due, and I know I'm not going to get a hold of nobody.
Smallwood can relate.
I've called all the numbers. I've never received a call back, so it's not like you're getting to talk to anybody. You're the first person I've actually get to talk to, and you don't even work for them.
Investigators at the Attorney General's office saw Kidwell's story and are now looking into the case. We're told he's not alone. But unlike Kidwell, where most of his unemployment benefits were going to a Utah bank, Smallwood doesn't suspect fraud in his case. He thinks it's a system error and worries he'll be taxed on nearly 10 grand when he says he only collected maybe half of that amount.
My bills aren't paid, so I definitely haven't got it.
Justin Puckett was in for an even bigger surprise.
I have a letter stating that it was all in error and it has to be repaid back.
The letter from the Office of Unemployment states he was overpaid benefits totaling more than $10,000 due to an office error. Puckett says he filed for benefits last summer after being fired. He tells me his claim was under investigation for 5 months when he finally received his checks.
Did you ever receive a letter prior to this letter saying that you were not eligible for unemployment?
No, never. But I do think that 5 months is too big of a gap to recognize an error.
That's a concern we want answered, as well as the inflated 1099s and the issue of fraud, as in Brandon Kidwell's case. What's being done about it?
How is the Labor Cabinet handling these reported fraud cases? And is it true investigators with the Attorney General's office have to get subpoenas to get unemployment records? If so, why?
Well, that second piece would be news to me. I certainly haven't seen a request from the Attorney General's office. Now, there is a lot of privacy information within everybody's claim that there are certain laws that govern too.
Once again, the governor pointed people to another state email where people can report problems. For Gary Smallwood, Justin Puckett, and Brandon Kidwell, each dealing with their own employment issues, they say more red tape doesn't help.
Should a common person as myself have to go through all these chains just to get an answer? Isn't that way too much to have to go through just to say, hey, can you look at this?
Lee Searcy, Evening Edition.
Anyone suspecting fraud on their 1099 form should email the state at kyou1099@ky.gov. You see that on the bottom of your screen there. If you do need help getting your unemployment benefits, LEX 18 can help alert the state. Email unemployment@wlex.tv. You'll need to include 4 things that the state needs to find your records. That includes your name, the last 4 digits of your social security number, your address, and the date you filed your claim. Well, when it comes to the coronavirus, Kentucky remains on the downward trend for several key metrics. Evening Edition's Mike Valenti breaks down the latest numbers for us from Frankfort.
Some promising news tonight out of the governor's daily COVID report. We've now seen 3 straight weeks of declining cases, but Kentucky's daily death count still remains relatively high. 35 more Kentuckians are confirmed to have died due to complications related to the coronavirus. There have been more than 30 in the daily report for nearly 2 weeks. The state is reporting 1,623 new cases and a positivity rate of 8.85%. Those numbers are more in line with how things were before Kentucky's recent holidays surge. And turning to hospitalizations, 1,314 coronavirus patients are currently in the hospital, down more than 200 from a week ago. 337 are in the ICU, and 178 are on ventilators. Both of those numbers are also down. Now, despite most of these metrics trending in the right direction, the governor is urging people to remain vigilant because this is still a dangerous time.
And again, we got to put this in context, right? They're a lot higher than they were in the summer or back when we were doing healthy at home. But with everything we've been through and the country's been through, I think seeing a decrease, hopefully being optimistic that it will continue, but remaining vigilant is where we should be.
Perhaps not surprisingly, the governor also announced he's extended the mask mandate for at least another 30 days. And he signaled he'll continue to do so, at least until we reach herd immunity here in the Commonwealth. In Frankfort, Mike Valenti, Evening Edition.
Well, a COVID-19 vaccine card might be your ticket to airline travel or school. But the Better Business Bureau of Lexington has a warning about those cards and why sharing pictures of them could be a bad idea. Evening Edition's Michael Burke shares what you need to know.
More than 61,000 vaccinated here in Fayette County.
And at least for the health department, we're getting it out as quickly as we get it in.
And more are on the way beginning tomorrow. The Horse Park's Alltech Arena will be the site of a new vaccine clinic with the ability to administer in large volumes.
More and more people, thousands a day, will be able to get vaccinated.
And as that happens all over the county and country, there's a new problem to consider.
Well, now there are folks on social media that are showing their vaccination cards.
Not a good idea from the Better Business Bureau's point of view.
That has their personal information on it and the date which they've gotten the vaccine and when they might get a second one. The BBB is warning that you should not show these on social media.
Because if there's a way to profit from it, you can bet the bad guys have already figured it out. And it has nothing to do with stealing your identity.
Some con artists are already selling fake COVID vaccine ID cards, and they may be using the same information that they're getting from people they see online.
So if you must, just show the Band-Aid over the injection site, but keep those cards to yourselves. And if you haven't already, pick up the phone. The start of tomorrow's Horse Park Clinic is by appointment only for those in groups 1A and 1B. In Lexington, Michael Burke for Evening Edition.
A man wanted for murder in Tennessee will be extradited back to that state after a chase through Kentucky. State police arrested Horace Nunez outside of Frankfort last night. He's accused of shooting and killing his wife inside a Knoxville apartment earlier in the day. Nunez also faces charges in Kentucky, including reckless driving and DUI. The 2021 Kentucky General Assembly returns to session tomorrow, and there are many things that need attention. Two of the biggest are the budget and COVID-19 restrictions. Evening Edition's political reporter Carolina Buchek has a preview tonight.
House Bill 1 is passed.
This week, Kentucky's lawmakers return, and one of the biggest things on their to-do list is to make sure Kentucky has a budget for next year, ensuring funds are in place to keep the state going. The governor has already presented his budget recommendation, but ultimately it's up to lawmakers to pass a budget. And the House Speaker says the governor's priorities will be considered.
The governor's recommendations will be fully considered, given every consideration, and I'm sure that there are many that we will agree with. I'm sure that there are some that we will disagree with. Quite frankly, it's the way the budget process works.
There's also the issue of COVID-19 restrictions. In the first 8 days of the 2021 session, Republicans used their 3-to-1 advantage to pass 7 of their priority bills, several of which deal with the pandemic. But the governor has stopped the bills from becoming law for now.
I've issued a series of vetoes.
Governor Andy Beshear vetoed all but one of the bills. But this week, lawmakers returned to Frankfort after a nearly 3-week break, and they have the numbers to override the governor's vetoes. And if that happens, the bills become law. And some of those laws will have impacts on the pandemic. The governor's emergency powers will be limited, and all eyes will be on how Republicans alter Kentucky's COVID-19 restrictions. Some worry any changes now may cause coronavirus cases to spike. But before the break, the House Speaker said every situation will be handled thoughtfully.
You know, one of the things that we've been somewhat critical of the governor of over time was not the particular policies, but the fact that they were applied equally in every situation. So I do think it requires a much more strategic and thoughtful approach to doing it, as opposed to just one size fits all.
In Frankfort, Carolina Buchek, Evening Edition.
The Kentucky Humane Society says every day is a miracle for a dog that was dumped at their Louisville location. This weekend, we told you about Ethan, who was found dying in the Humane Society's parking lot. Today, they shared some new photos, these ones here. The Humane Society says Ethan's chances of survival are 50-50, but that there are some good signs for his recovery. They are monitoring him for refeeding syndrome. That can happen in animals who are starved. So far, people have donated tens of thousands of dollars for Ethan's recovery. Still to come here on Evening Edition, after a massive fire burned their business to the ground, Bluegrass Stockyards had to rebuild from the ground up. We'll show you how they're doing 5 years later in their brand new facility.
Well, COVID-19 hitting the Kentucky program for the first time this season. They've had a couple of games postponed or canceled because it was the other programs. This time it was UK, and, well, we don't know how much it's going to affect them, but we're going to talk about that tonight, and we'll also bring in the voice of the Wildcats, Tom Leach.
We'll also recap the women's game from last night, another close one and a victory over Missouri. We also catch up with volleyball star Madison Lilly. Stay tuned and join us.
Everyone's buzzing about buying local. With the recent bee shortage, I'm keeping a colony of bees right in my backyard. The bees that made this honey were cared for and given the attention they needed. That's why UK Federal Credit Union should be your local bank.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. We did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month.
I called to get dental, transportation, meals, and the Give Back benefit.
With this virus situation,
I called to get everything I'm entitled to. I couldn't believe I was missing out on so many benefits.
With the uncertainty of the virus, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-993-8581. That's 1-800-993-8581 now.
Whoa! The Kentucky Lottery's Cash Pop Daily Draw Game. Choose your numbers 1 to 15. One number wins it every 4 minutes. Play Cash Pop. Maybe your lucky number will win you some scratch.
It's Sleep Outfitters President's Day free-for-all with amazing free gifts valued up to $300. Get a free box spring with 18 Sealy Responser Outfitters mattresses set as low as $249. Interest-free financing and free premier delivery. Now at Sleep Outfitters.
BBN Tonight is brought to you by CHI St. Joseph Health.
All right, so seeing the last of the showers of snow moving through our eastern counties at this point. And as we get to the day tomorrow, we'll finally see it come to an end. It's been several hours with all of this snow blanketing the area. A lot of that melted throughout the course of the weekend, and then we just kind of added more to it. Very similar in amounts to what we had throughout the middle of last week. 1 to 3 for most areas, but throughout the overnight, this continued area of snow will likely put down another 1 to 2 for some of our eastern counties out there. Certainly not the snow that's making its way through the New England states. The nor'easter for those are definitely a big deal for travelers out in those areas. West, a lot of high pressure for now. We will see another storm system get here for the end of the week, but until then, we actually have a nice break from all of this activity. It's basically just a little bit of a trough on the back end of this system. That's why we have enough moisture and enough of the ingredients necessary to keep those snow showers going overnight and throughout the morning tomorrow. Then you see high pressure build in, clearing out the clouds for a lot of us throughout the middle of the week, and that'll be a nice change of pace. Cold for sure, but at least sunny. Kind of take away a little bit of that sting. But then looking out Thursday, now to our west, we see another low generating and really getting its act together, and that will bring in a mostly rain event throughout the end of the week and then transitioning over to snow as we go into the upcoming weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next 3 days on the future track. And with temperatures, we get pretty cold in the overnight hours. And when you keep that wind in effect, especially throughout the morning tomorrow, the wind chill values getting down into the teens and the low teens at that. In fact, some wind chill values may even dip into the single digits with how windy it's going to be overnight tonight, throughout the morning tomorrow, and with the fact that we still have a lot of cold air at the surface. Snow showers continue into the late morning hours for the extreme eastern counties, and then sunshine building in throughout the afternoon for everyone in the central corridor, and then eventually for everyone out east as it's going down. So high pressure making things look better, even though it may not feel better, especially with all the snow on the ground keeping it cold. But throughout the rest of tonight and tomorrow, another half of an inch for those along Interstate 75. We're looking at 1 to 2, maybe a little bit more on some of those higher ridge tops out south and east. But really, it's not just a snow factor for the overnight hours. It's also considering that a lot of that snow is melted throughout the course of the day today. It's become water on the roadways, and so a lot of the untreated areas have that chance for refreezing overnight tonight. So that's why the winter weather advisory extends all the way down southwest of us, because of that fact that we still have that chance for not only a little bit of snow, but also the ice situation overnight. But let's look beyond that. And let's look beyond the weekend, because there's actually a big deal coming, and it's an Arctic blast of cold air that's going to be here as we're getting into the late part of the weekend and early part of next week. You see this just continue to flow down south. Polar air, feeling very, very cold air going to be moving in. And with that, several rounds of snow to go along with it. So some of the coldest air of the season is going to show up next week. Despite the fact that we've had more snow than we typically get, colder air that's been sitting around, it's just the way it goes. And that's the way it's going to be next week. So until then, expect a little bit of snow tomorrow morning for the eastern counties and plenty of sunshine for the middle of the week. And then a very, very active end of the weekend and beginning of next week.
Tonight.
I love you, Ellen. I love you, too. This is how I'm going to show my love.
What goes up?
Wait, I'm afraid of roller coasters.
Well, you know.
Well, then let's get you down.
Game of Games tonight on NBC.
Where are you from?
From Aspen, Colorado.
The oxygen levels there are a little different.
Is she a beauty?
Who did you think was the weakest link?
Or a beast?
Colin. I don't trust the bow tie and the FX at the end of his name.
Wow! New Weakest Link, tonight on NBC. Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Kroger, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Health Break, brought to you by CHI St. Joseph Health.
As adults past the age of 50, they can sometimes face physical challenges involving their strength, their balance, and their mobility. Physical therapist Morgan Stringer explains how physical therapy can help.
Some of the exercises we can do involve some TheraBand exercises where we add a little resistance to some things to help strengthen those muscles in the legs and arms. We also do some different exercises with weights. We also do balance activities.
CHI St. Joseph Health provides physical therapy to address these issues in the residence of Legacy Reserve at Fritz Farm.
We're seeing if they have any kind of deficits in either balance or gait. We use a few different tools to try to determine where they're at, and with those tools we can go in and find specific interventions that really cater to what their needs are.
For more information, go to chistjosephhealth.org. I'm Beverly Herbert.
It's about time to watch on your time. LEX 18, streaming storm tracker weather 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.
Welcome back. 5 years ago, Saturday, a massive fire destroyed bluegrass stockyards. Investigators determined it was an accident, but with the facility reduced to scraps of metal, the complex was forced to start from scratch. Evening Edition's Kristen Edwards tells us how business is going now at the new location off Ironworks Pike.
It was the largest fire Lexington had seen in 30 years, and it took more than 100 firefighters to battle the flames.
We were all crushed, but, you know, farmers and ag community were resilient people, and as hard as it was, and we just said, well, we're going to pick up our pieces and move forward, and that's what it's all about.
Less than 2 years later, a new state-of-the-art facility opened 8 miles up the road.
I've been all over the United States, and there's nothing compares to it. Nothing.
But it wasn't until recently that manager Jeremy Schrock felt like they really started to hit their stride.
Last fall, I really felt like we gained a lot of ground.
They're starting to see some of their old customers come back, a sign of a brighter future ahead.
And we just strive hard to get up every day, work 7 days a week, and spend a lot of one-on-one time with customers and farmers, and just keep working.
And they'll be at it till the cows come home. In Lexington, Kristen Edwards, Evening Edition.
If you're married or live with your partner, you likely know lockdowns together can be stressful. When Evening Edition returns, we're learning more about the emotional toll of lockdowns and how couples can overcome this new challenge.
We'll revisit UK men's basketball following last week's pause for COVID-19. Plus the women, not another close win.
Also hear from Kentucky volleyball star Madison Lilly and the voice of the Wildcats, Tom Leach.
Presented locally by CHI St. Joseph Health. Here's what's on LEX 18 tonight. Sponsored by your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers. Chevy is here to help put you in a new Silverado. The strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Chevy is here for you.
A lifestyle built on faith, built on independence. At Sarah Christian Village, we've been building your trust for over 35 years. And with the expansion of our Friendship Towers, we're building even more. Our dedication to an all-inclusive, maintenance-free lifestyle is complete with the care you'll have when needed. Chef-prepared meals, transportation, and telehealth assistance, as well as our commitment to a safe and clean facility, gives you the peace of mind you need right now. Take a virtual or in-person tour today. Sarah Christian Village, a great place to call home.
This is not breakfast. It's a sad, lukewarm compromise wrapped in disappointment. Now this is breakfast, the DQ Real Breakfast, with warm, fluffy biscuits baked daily, covered in thick country-style gravy, and served with 2 Purnell sausage patties hot off the griddle. instead of whatever this is. And right now, you can get all this for less than $4. Now this is breakfast. DQ. Happy tastes good.
At Ephraim McDowell Health, every service is here and ready to serve you. From cardiology to cancer care. From pain management to primary care. Orthopedic care to outpatient surgery. From emergency to ear, nose, and throat. And every service in between. Your safety, your health, our priorities. Ephraim McDowell Health.
I am a real customer of Bryant Heating and Cooling, and I have been now for 11 years. Why do I do this? Because Bryant has always been here for me. I've had units go down, but when I called them, they were here, and they never left my home until I was comfortable. My system gets regular maintenance, so I know that my furnace is going to perform its best, even in the worst conditions. But if it doesn't, Bryant will be here. That's why I do this.
The more time workers spend working from home, the more afraid their bosses are becoming about cybersecurity. A recent survey in the UK found 1 in 5 British workers never received cybersecurity training. The survey also showed 2 of 3 home workers who printed out sensitive documents did not properly destroy them. IT experts say companies should issue company computers to home workers. Who to call if they have a problem with their system. Another new study shows the impact of lockdowns on married couples. Researchers at West Virginia University studied 165 married couples and asked them how lockdowns affected their daily routines. The study found feelings of having a spouse stepping on their toes caused resentment and gave the appearance the relationship was in trouble. Researchers say the negative feelings toward a spouse quickly went away when they started planning their daily routines together. Dunkin' Brands wants to warm up the month of February by encouraging customers to try their new coffee flavors. For the month of February, Dunkin' Donuts Rewards members can get a free medium coffee with any purchase. To get their freebie, Perks members can order ahead on the Dunkin' app or show their loyalty code when paying. Dunkin' says they want to reward loyal customers heading into the home stretch of winter. They also hope the promotion encourages people to sample new flavors like Dunkin' Midnight. We're back after this.
Same MRI, different prices. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI can save you 30 to 60%. We believe that every patient deserves the best in affordable quality care. Avoid surprise billing. Come to Lexington Diagnostic Center. Imaging focused on you.
All of you will find something special at All of You Boutique in Richmond. And now is the time to stock up on winter essentials with our huge winter sale going on now. Coats, dresses, sweaters, accessories, and more. Don't miss out on these great deals at All of You Boutique in Richmond.
Work out anytime. The gym that's open all the time is all about your health. That's why we're following guidelines for cleanliness and hygiene. And right now you can join Work Out Anytime for only $1 down or $10 for our premium membership. Work Out Anytime. Maple Leaf off Man o' War.
Arby's, 2 for $6. Every day. Spicy buffalo, creamy ranch, bready bread. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
At Golden Law Office, our attorneys previously represented nursing homes, nursing home administrators, and corporate owners. Now we use our inside knowledge to represent the victims of nursing home abuse and neglect. Let us put that knowledge to work for you. Call Golden Law Office today.
A new year is the perfect time for a new look. From closets and pantries to mudrooms and garages, California Closets will help you create that new look you've been dreaming of. And right now, you can save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. You'll choose from a range of rich colors and textures and beautiful accessories that are sure to complement any room in your home. Get started by scheduling your free design consultation today at californiaclosets.ca.
Tonight on LEX 18 News at 11, what you need to know about the new large-scale COVID-19 vaccination center at the Kentucky Horse Park, plus an update on the dog abandoned at a Kentucky Humane Society's parking lot. Tonight at 11.
Hey
you said that over there.
What are you doing, Karen?
Our drains are bad, and the plumber said we had to bust up the floor to replace them. I'm waiting on a manager to call me back.
You don't have to do that, Karen. Call a pro at Fast Flow.
Fast Flow Plumbing now offers Permaliner sewer sleeves. We remove intrusions in the existing sewer, then insert a sleeve through the existing opening. This eliminates the removal of concrete, leaving your basement intact without the need to remodel, saving homeowners up to 40%.
Don't be a Karen. Call a pro at Fast Flow.
All right, so for the rest of tonight and tomorrow morning, some snow showers mainly in the eastern counties. Otherwise, a little bit of ice out there on the roadways, so watch out for that. Take it easy on the roads. We'll get some sunshine by the middle of the week, and we're right back in it for the end and the weekend.
Ooh, in it in a big way. All right, thanks, Seth. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here on Evening Edition. We'll see you back here for LEX 18 News at 11.
LEX 18, it's about time we fit into your schedule. Streaming local news 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.